Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fellow channel. I'm here today with a book haul. I've received a couple of books from Amberley Publishing, one book from Casemate, and about 5 books from Pen and Sword Books. They're all on a variety of subjects, so let's get going. The first book I've got is The Romans in Scotland and the Battle of Mongrapius, which is written by Simon Forder, and that's published by Amberley Publishing, and that's priced at $10.99. I'll give you a little bit of the blurb from the back. In AD 77, Roman forces under Agricola marched into the northern reaches of Britain to pacify the Caledonian tribesmen. For 7 years the Romans campaigned across what is now Scotland. In AD 83 they fought the final battle at Mons Graupius, where 10,000 Caledonians were slaughtered with only 360 Roman dead. Mons Graupius has fascinated historians for centuries, not only because of the uncertainties, but also because it marks the withdrawal of Rome from the north. For the Empire, it is the beginning of the end. Now, I quite like me Scottish history, so I'm really looking forward to this book. So it might be one of the first ones I read. Right, the second book is a big chunky hardback from Amberley Publishing, and it's called Tudor Roses, From Margaret Beaufort to Elizabeth I, and that's written by Amy Licence. It's £25, and that's from Amberley Publishing. If I just read you the inlay. A dynasty is defined by its men, by their personalities, their wars and reigns, their laws and decisions. Their mothers, wives, sisters and daughters are often depicted as mere foils, shadowy figures whose value lies in the inheritance they bought, or the children they produced. Yet the Tudor dynasty is full of women who are fascinating in their own right. Like Margaret Beaufort, who finally emerged triumphant after years of turmoil, Elizabeth of York and her steadying influence, Catherine of Aragon and Anne Boleyn, whose rivalry was played out against the backdrop of the Reformation, and Mary and Elizabeth, England's first reigning queens. Then there are all the others, Henry VIII's fascinating sisters, who became queens of France and Scotland, and their offspring, the Brandon and Grey women, Lady Margaret Douglas and her granddaughter Arabella Stuart. Many more women danced the pavane under Henry's watchful eye, or helped adjust Elizabeth's ruff. These were strong women wielding remarkable power, whether that was behind the scenes or on the international stage. Their contribution took England from the medieval era into the modern. It is time for a new narrative of the Tudor women, one that prioritises their experiences and their voices. And that looks a nice decent read as well. Right, onto the Pen and Sword books now that I've received. And as you'll know, I've received a book from a series that I really like. This is called Dundee at War, 1939 to 45, and it's written by Craig Armstrong, and it's part of the Your Towns and Cities and in World War II. Now I actually know Dr. Craig Armstrong on Twitter because he's a Newcastle United supporter, but I do really like his books. He's obviously a doctor at a university and writes very well, very clear, and his work's always very informative. So I'm looking forward to this one and finding out more about Dundee. That's Dundee at War 39 to 45 by Dr. Craig Armstrong, and that's published by Pen and Sword Books, and you can get that for $14.99. The next one's a little different, maybe not one that I usually get into, but this is The Origins of Wizards, Witches and Fairies, written by Simon Webb, published by Pen and Sword Books, and this one retails at £20. I bought it mainly because I've read a few of Simon Webb's books, and they're always quite interesting, and I find he doesn't always pick the easiest subjects to write about, so I thought, yeah, I'd have a read of this one. From the back of the book, explores the history of Europe and the earliest legends about magic and religion. Shows how modern discoveries in genetics, archaeology and folklore have shed new light on our ideas about wizards and witches. Examines the incredible length of time that stories of fairies, elves and goblins have been circulating in Europe. Looks at the way stories told around campfires 5,000 years ago have moulded and influenced the modern world, and reveals how people in Europe still unwittingly follow magical practices and rituals which date back to the Bronze Age. And that's The Origins of Wizards, Witches and Fairies. The next book is about a suffragette, the great Miss Lydia Becker. It's a nice, decent sized hardback as well, this one. That's written by Joanna M. Williams, published by Pen and Sword Books, and this one's £25. Extensive use of the unpublished papers of Lydia Becker, other suffragists and suffrage societies. Focus on area of campaigning for women's rights in the Victorian period, which has often been neglected. Due to her person's campaign in the 1868 general election, it was estimated that 1,000 women voted across Britain. She achieved voting rights for women in the same terms as men in the Isle of Man as early as 1881. The book challenges the popular perception that the suffragettes were the only group responsible for winning women's suffrage. And that book actually looks quite interesting. On the front it says, "The great Miss Lydia Becker, suffragist, scientist and trailblazer." And the next one, this one's also from Pen and Sword Books. Keeping the Home Fires Burning. That's entertaining the troops at home and abroad during the Great War, and that's written by Phil Caradice. Actually, I've read a number of Caradice's books because he's from Wales, and obviously living in Wales, I've read a couple of his books because he does a lot about Welsh history. So I'm hoping to find this book easy and informative, because he's also one of those readers. Some authors just seem to go on and on sometimes, whereas Phil Caradice is quite to the point. From the inside cover it says, "Keeping the Home Fires Burning" tells the story of how the troops and general public were kept happy and content during the First World War. Between 1914 and 1918, there were there was entertainment of the masses for the sole purpose of promotion of the war effort. It was the first time that a concerted effort to raise and sustain morale was ever made by any British government, and was a combination of government-sponsored ideas and lucky happenstance. It was also picked up and used by the new propaganda ministry. So, again, I'm going to quite enjoy that one. That's keeping the home fires burning. And that, I'm not sure I said, but that retails at £20. And then the final one I got from Pen and Sword is one of my favourites again. It's from the Images of War series, and it's the Waffen SS at Arnhem, written by Ian Baxter and published by Pen and Sword Books. Retails at £15, and it's always an excellent read. The photographs you get in these books are fantastic and very rarely seen before, so I'm going to also enjoy that one too. And then finally, the last book I've got from Casemate is one of those big, like, coffee table ones. And that is Ancient Greeks at War. Let me just get the glare off the book for you. That's written by Simon Elliott. Warfare in the Classical World, from Agamemnon to Alexander. And it's one of those nice, thick, glossy books. And there's so many pictures inside, or photographs and drawings. It's going to be a really good read. If I just read the first paragraph on the inside. Ancient Greeks at War is a lavishly illustrated tour de force covering every aspect of warfare in the ancient Greek world, from the beginnings of Greek civilization through to its assimilation into the expanding world of Rome. So that's certainly one for the coffee table, and one that's going to be a really good read. And this book is £30, and it's in like a nice glossy hardback. Ancient Greeks at War, written by Simon Elliott and published by Casemate Publishing. Anyway, that's it. That's all the books I've received this week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of the books. If you have read some of the books, drop us a line just below this video. Tell me what you thought of them, whether you liked them or whether you didn't even. And don't forget to give this video a like if you don't mind, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then please do so. It'd be really nice and I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. There'll be a couple more videos over the next few days, so thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.